Hello, and welcome to the Lavelle Time Works YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here today on the channel. If you've been following this journey, this is the Hamilton 99 2B movement. Got it all cleaned up, and I did have to replace the escape wheel. It had a little wobble in it, and on closer inspection, one of the arms, one of these four arms here, actually had a crack in it and was broken, so that's why it was wobbling. When I went to go make adjustments, that crack, you could see it actually under the microscope. Yeah. Anyway, it's broken. It's been replaced. Everything's good. We have all of our parts here. Don't mind me. Our wonderful mainspring. That's our source of power right there. I suppose I should just get everything kind of out of the container here, out of the baskets. Let me start with that. I'm still looking for the proper case that I want. I do have the, it's like a gold-plated, or rolled gold plate case. It looks like that. A rolled gold plate, it says right on the inside there. Right there. I'm gonna say it's out of focus, but wait, I control the focus. Not a case I want. I don't want the I want the stainless steel case. I just like it better. So yeah, still looking for one. I did get a pocket watch on order where the case looks, it's a what's the phrase, a splitting image, spitting image. It looks like the exact case that I'm after, but it's for a different pocket watch. And I don't know if it's just, it is the right case. But the price is right, so I picked it up. I'm just waiting for that to get shipped here. And we will see. Maybe I get lucky and I got this case for cheap. Or I just have another watch to clean up and service and sell it. Okay, I was going to say I just dropped a screw, found it. It didn't go far. We're going to get this reassembled, oiled, all the fun stuff. But everything should be pretty darn clean. Hope you're all having a good day. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I do offer these services, or if you want a watch, let me know. One of these days I just need to get an eBay listing going. I'd like to think I could just do it myself off of like an Instagram page, or just posting videos here saying, hey, this watch is for sale. But I don't think it's going to work like that. I don't know if I've got big enough viewership to make sales like that work. How clean and shiny everything is. That's been refit. This is the replacement escape wheel, and if you look in the center, it's got like a brass, looks like a brass bushing there. But I did fit it. I did check it. It fit perfect. Again, I am pretty bummed about the original one having that crack, but you know, what are you gonna do? The watch is what? I was gonna say 50 years old. What is this watch from, like the 1920s, if I recall? Just a guess. I'm just getting all my parts out here. And we're going to assemble this, get it oiled, make sure everything is functioning as it should. I don't have any list in front of me of how this actually goes back together, because if I'm being honest, I should know how to without help. And also with this cleaning basket, I've got everything's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 7 different components or slots there. You can make 9. I'm able to separate everything. That when it comes out of the cleaner, I can just put everything back next to all the stuff from that basket, that area. And it should just kind of go back in the watch where it's supposed to. I do the same thing with chronographs. I've got one of those blue containers where it's got like the 21 trays or whatever, 21 little squares. So as I'm taking apart a chronograph, what I do is, okay, here's like the first 3 pieces, or like let's say like the click assembly. 1, 2, 3 with the screw there. That's pretty unique. Like I'm not going to mix that up with like a screw like this, like a bigger screw that just holds one of the bridges down. So I'll do those 3 pieces, and then maybe a plate. Next square. Then I'll take some more pieces out. Next square. Just compartmentalizing everything, keeping it all separate. I think that helps a lot. But I do have all my stuff laid out here. Everything's cleaned. Again, I couldn't get this this screw out, and I didn't want to force it. I was gonna check in with one of my buddies, one of my correspondents that also is a watchmaker, and see if he had some insight on that. But I didn't. Again, this is a personal watch of mine. So it's nothing I'm too worried about. Okay, that post in the center does not turn, but this screw does. Yeah, I don't know how that's connected. Maybe someday if I get some more replacement parts, I can just go to town and just get that out of there. All right, so I'm going to start putting this together and oiling it. I do wish I had some background music, but whatever. And again, this being a pocket watch, everything's pretty large, so I don't really need to look through the microscope myself, but if you enjoy that, that's there for you. First I put the center wheel on, and I'm pretty sure it goes on last or something, but we'll see. Kind of get everything situated here. Now I don't have any epilogue here, or the bottle for it. I wish I did, but I don't. I put all these gears in, and I'm pretty sure I need to refit this assembly first. Yeah, this guy goes in here. That's going to go in there. Trying to do all this without touching stuff with my bare fingers. They are clean and dry and everything, but you never know. There might just be, I've been touching my forehead and stuff, and things around and never be too sure. Obviously, I could put on some finger cots or something, but get some of this grease, this blue grease. You know, I really should label all of my pots so I can just tell you exactly which numbers are. Which numbers are for which one. That's just nothing I concern myself with. I really should, but I know, especially if I was trying to take a CW21 course or something related, you kind of have to know this stuff. There's written parts to that exam, I'm pretty sure. Which, for me, is a little annoying. Like, it wouldn't be too hard to learn the names and proper numbers for the different oils and everything. I'm assuming that kind of stuff is on there. I know what's what here on my bench, or my bench at work. I know what's what. I'm not needing to talk to somebody else about my work, so I've never done that. But obviously you need to prove that you can do this stuff to the powers that be. Now, whoops. Alright, I'm going to try to do this through the microscope so I don't move it for you guys so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to hold this and then back that out. And lower it into place. There we go. So that's in place. I'm not sure if I need... I might just put a drop of oil on there, not the grease, the oil. Let's get it locked into place first. There's this clip here. I'll let you see it. There's that clip there. Kind of goes over the top, and I'm just going to push it down with the back of my tweezers. It's not a lot of force. That was like one finger right there. Not a lot of force, and that's installed. But of course, this all does move and rotate. You know what? I'm going to stick with the grease. I'm not sure if I need it here or not, but I know sometimes when I've seen other people put watches together, they will add just a little bit of grease here. Just a little dot on each spot there. Of course, there's also debates of which greases, which oils, where to use it, when to use it, how much, so on and so forth. Everybody's got their own view on all of that stuff. Of course, this is my... This is for my setting lever. Here, this will tell me 100% where this goes. I'll take this guy. Alright, so that goes there, and I don't have to put in before. So I can leave this plate on. I don't have to take this off, or this bridge. Easy enough to fit there. Make sure your pivots line up. Did you see it drop there? Something feels like it's not lining up right here. Something else I want to do to this watch is the lettering. You can see like that number 6 there, that's missing the paint. Same with some of the letters, as you can see, and I do want to get that filled in. Mechanically, it doesn't serve a purpose, but it just looks nicer. Again, my issue here now is this isn't sitting fully flush. I'm not sure if it's something that I'm doing or if I just need to get a screw on. Okay, I think that our setting lever screw was doing something there. I was going to take all the wheels out, but I'm just going to take out that one screw. You know, every time I start shooting one of these videos, that's when everybody decides they want to start talking to me. Okay, so it was that screw. It was that setting lever screw, so we're going to keep that out. I should be good to send a few of these home now. I think I started saying that this was my personal watch. As you can see, I'm not wearing finger cots or anything. Personal watch, and I probably am going to be taking this apart again. Like I said, I want to do some painting on the letters. And I'd rather just do that disassembled so I don't have to worry about if some paint somehow goes where it's not supposed to, or while I'm cleaning it. I don't want that getting in the oils or anything, so I'll just be taking this apart again whenever I get around to that. It's not anytime soon though, so. I guess I can ask you guys, first off, make sure you subscribe if you want to see some more watch stuff. Again, I've got watches to sell. As long as my sleeve been all twisted up over here. I do have watches to sell, and if you want to see those, you know, I might just start posting shorts here. That could reach an audience, I guess. But also let me know what you want to see. I've got disassembly stuff, reassembly usually, but obviously things come up or just projects get set aside. There we go, that's the good stuff. Most of it is set aside. I just, something needs a part or whatever it may be. And it just gets set aside because I've got other stuff to work on. And it's all personal projects for now until I sell it. So there's no rush for me to have to get stuff fixed. Now, obviously, if you want to see something fixed that I didn't finish up or whatever it may be, just let me know. Just ask. Like, hey, you were working on this one watch, but you never showed the finished blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let me know and I'll finish it up. I did have a customer's watch in the other day. Oh, I still have it. I have to mail it out. I installed a new sapphire crystal in their watch. They were replacing the Hardlex Seiko crystal. One of those things, every brand has their own flavor of mineral crystal glass that they put on a watch. And people either love them or they hate them. And this customer was definitely a I don't like this. So they wanted a sapphire so they don't have to worry about scratches. Also, it looks really nice because it's flush instead of raised up. Personal opinion, I guess. And it's a sapphire. Won't get scratched. Shouldn't get scratched. It can get scratched, but most day-to-day stuff, it should not get scratched. Okay, try to get this close. We can move that out. Sapphire obviously is really good for scratch resistance, but it can still break. Which, I mean, that's where you... There's no perfect answer. It's all what works for you. Okay. I don't want to turn that too much because my gear train is still out. And we don't need to be having issues with that. But our gear train's almost together. Now, before I try to test anything, I need to remind myself that these cap jewels aren't on, which actually messes with the setting, or like how where the wheel sits. So because it's open, and I might be having that issue right here, right now. You'll see the little piece of lint, or whatever it was. Whoops, off the camera. Sorry. The pivot on the wheel might be long enough where when the cap jewels are on, it sits nice and in place. With that cap jewel gone, it could shift one way or the other and just cause things to not work. I've done in the past. I've tried to run a watch without the cap jewel on the balance, and it just doesn't work. So that is in place. Okay. I do have a lathe here at the house. I would like to get it set up. I do actually have a blank graver here. And the sharpening tools for that, so I can learn how to use a lathe. But it would also be cool to use that for like polishing screw heads. That's one component that I always thought was really cool. Oh, okay. Back the screws out. You guys didn't see it. Maybe you didn't see it. The bottom here isn't set in. There it is. Luckily, I didn't torque these screws down. Absolutely zero pressure until I know that everything's in place. And it spins, and you can see it, again, you can see it jumping around a little bit here. Maybe you can't on the video, but you can see it kind of moving up and down. And again, that's because there's no cap jewels installed, so it's not sitting exactly where it should. Let's start with that guy. Okay. This will be for the escape wheel. There we go. A little bit off center, but actually it looks like it's maybe already been epilon. I don't know if you saw, but I was able to actually move that bead over. Kind of shape it into a circle that we want. Okay. That's sitting right where we want it. Yeah, getting the lathe set up so I can polish screw heads and then also recut. I know there's a very specific tool for that, cutting screw heads. I would like to get one. Whoops. Thought that was actually started already, but... Oh, small screws. There we go. Whoops. My hand was over it anyway, but I was off camera. Yeah, just cleaning up some of these light scratches, like on the screw head, would be nice, or polishing this cap jewel. That would be cool. So I'm going to oil these last two spots on this side, and then we'll flip it over and see what's going on there. Easy enough. There we go. So I'm not worried about the pallet or the balance right now. I just want to get the gear train in and make sure that that is set up properly. So we're going to have either balance right here, balance jewel, pallet, Escape. Escape we oil, palette we do not, balance we do. So let's get those set up here. Okay, this jewel just has some marks. Whoops. You see there's just a little bit of a rubbing spot in the center there, and I always forget if that's intentional or not. I know some they've got like different little indents that they do on purpose. And there was that little mark on the outside edge, but I don't think that's going to affect anything. Sorry, I'm trying to get these little tiny focus things here. Put that up there. Move this over. Maybe you can see better up here. Maybe? Oh, whatever. You guys get the idea. Still move the microscope. These screws are pretty small too, and they're a little bit shorter somehow. The threading is shorter. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Here, maybe if I switch. There, you can watch from that angle now. Hold on. I'm gonna switch. This one's got a little bit of a sharper blade on it. There we go. And I know I don't have the balance in there yet, but I want to get that on there so when I flip it over, yeah, look how scratched up that is. That is not for me, by the way. When I get the balance in, I don't have to remember that I forgot to put that on and wonder why the watch isn't working. Okay. Next deal. Okay. Closest to me is the escape wheel. That's the one I need to oil. Don't oil the one away from me. Oil one, not the other. That's all I need to remember here. There we go, and I was able to move that. Okay, move that circle of oil where I want it. Closest to me is what we need. Sorry, that was off camera, but I didn't have a free hand. What I'm doing there is I'm using my thumb on my other hand just to get a little more control. Make sure nothing's moving. I don't know if it's fully obvious, but sometimes I do have a little bit of a shaky hand. Like it doesn't look too bad there on the camera. But when you start getting like tweezers, you can kind of see how it's bobbling around a little bit. That's when you start balancing it on your thumb there, or whatever you're doing. Also, I do anchor it down on the bench, and that helps a lot. And now I know it's blurry, but as you can see, it's a lot steadier than just holding it, and it's moving around a little bit. Maybe I'm forcing it some too, but you get the idea. Just try to work with what you can. And just figure out your method. What's that old saying? If it works, it's not stupid. Which I'm sure you can also argue the other way for that, but if it works, All right, so the all the cap jewels are installed now. We've got a blue and a red. We already did the center wheel. I always just do that when I put the wheel in. I saw it somewhere once, and it just kind of stuck with me. Sometimes you don't have access to it from the other side, so I guess it makes sense to do it that way. One blue, one red. Also some red on the barrel arbor there. Cool. Gear train should be oiled properly as we need it. So we are going to, since we're here, we can work on installing stuff here. So that's just, okay, so we can get that screw in now. We get some you're wondering what I'm doing right here off camera. I've got a little cleaning spot to clean off the oiler. Promise there's a reason for it. Okay, where were you? Right here. That just dropped right in there, by the way. I don't know why it didn't do that earlier, but so now I have to do, and I'm sure there is a better way to do all this. But I just hold it. Give it a pinch. I know I probably shouldn't, but that is how I do it. That also probably has to go in later. But maybe I can just, maybe I can just swing this under. Yeah, it clearly goes the other way. Okay, don't need to move or adjust anything there. Okay, so we got our setting lever, we got our yoke. Maybe that's the yoke. Like I said, I know what the parts are. I know what they do. I just, up here, I haven't fully gotten all the names linked with everything else as I probably should, but again, I'm not using the words when I'm working on this stuff. That is on me. Okay. I do like this tool here, this little, I don't know, just kind of a, I think this is like peak plastic, whatever you want to call it. So instead of using like a piece of pegwood or something, I just have this nice and flat. And I can use that to just anchor down and hold something in place. Mostly use it for springs. I've got nowhere to fly. Springs can be scary, but if you kind of have a procedure that you do when you're installing them, that helps a lot. It definitely helps. Okay. You know, there are times that I think I use too much grease in a watch. But some of these, when I take them apart, oh my gosh. I was working on a Rolex the other day. And yeah, everything for the keyless works was absolutely just slathered in a grease, which is weird because it's, you know, it's a Rolex. Like, that should have some better craftsmanship on it, but apparently not. I don't know, the and I really shouldn't speak too much on it, but again, like, you don't think you would see that in a Rolex, but the way this customer was talking and kind of what they were expecting from me, it kind of made it seem like, again, I don't want to go too much into it, but so there we go. Almost forgot we have the double wheels, which again, I'm pretty sure are the exact same wheel. Exactly the same, so I can just go ahead and pop those in. I think what messes with me is we got a post and then the screw hole. I really wish that the 99-2B had not a lever set, but actually pull out the crown. That would make me such a happy camper. Those two screws are for that. These two screws are for this. We're getting down to the last parts, and My brain just shut off for a second there again. Again, I've got those screws tightened down, but they're not like snug tightened down. Nope, wrong end, sorry. There's our click. Clicks out, nice and solid, holds it out, clicks it back in. There we go, that should give us plenty of use and life out of that. Until I take it apart and clean it again. Let's put it that way. And I'm sure you can see all the fingerprints I'm leaving here, so we're going to clean that up. Now I can tighten down these screws. There we go. Cannon pinion. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on the side here. I think this cannon pinion had a pretty good fit. Pretty solid fit anyway, as it were. Okay. That should be on there pretty good. If I do have issues, I can always tighten that up. Loose cannon pinion. The watch ticks and the gears run, but the hands don't move. This connection here is where the transfer goes from the gear train to the hands and all the stuff up here. There's another piece up here, but I'm going to be flipping this over, so it'd be pointless to put it on. What's happening is the friction, it's not grabbing the center wheel post tight enough. You want it tight, but you don't want it too tight, because if it's too tight, then when you try to set the time, it's you got to fight it. But if it's too loose, then the hands don't move. So there is that. There's our gear train going, looking good. Okay. Awesome. Love to see it. Let's get our palette in here. Palette fork. Be nice and shiny. My pivot missing. Oh my gosh. From this angle, it looked like the pivot right here was missing. It's not. It's 100% there. And then for some reason, again, you know, it's a 21 jewel watch, but we have cap jewels on the palette, which I guess serves some purpose, but not. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like it's the biggest help. You don't oil it. You don't oil the palette. Pivots. The palette fork. These screws could use a good cleaning up, as it were. I just try to shove the camera against. That's not how this works. Wow. And we don't have to oil this. Pretty, looks cool. Maybe it does serve a purpose. I'm not sure. I guess it holds it in place so it doesn't move up and down. So I get it. I also just wish that pocket watch movements had some, shock absorption abilities. So you could put this on your wrist and have it work properly. Now, of course, you could probably fabricate and manufacture your own thing, but that's a lot of work. So I'm just going to put a couple little twists there. In theory, that should move. Nice. Now what I can do, this is my favorite oiling on a watch, or lubrication on a watch. We're going in there. So we'll keep you guys there. I'm going to go out here. There you go. 3 sets of 5 gets you all the way back around to the start. And then just as that goes, it'll kind of dispense and reallocate that oil and just get it spread out on all the teeth. So where are we going with this? Okay, cool. All right, that's getting set aside for now. Now we're getting to the business end of it. So we got this here, and again, this has kind of that indent in the center, and it's right where the light is, the LED ring. You can almost see it. Okay, this is the cap jewel for our balance. And we're going to get some oil on this and then get it installed. I don't like doing this one. This goes under balance, and then the screws coming from underneath, but it'd be the top because everything's upside down. And it kind of is a pain. I could just install it and then just put a little drop of oil and feed it through. I've got one of those like little mini needles. One of these here. So what you do is you drop the oil in through the jewel here with the cap jewel installed. And then you take that little needle. It's just like a little thin. You put it in the hole, connect it, and then capillary action sucks the oil down onto the cap jewel, which works. I really like using it, but let's see if we can't do it this way and just kind of prove it. Prove it to myself, I guess. We're already here, we're already this far, so. Also bent this oiler, apparently. It's okay. You know, I've got a bag of these somewhere. I just buy the cheap ones. Come on, there we go. I just buy the cheap ones because I always end up just breaking them. And I don't think it's an issue of I break them because they're the cheap ones. I break them because it's thin. Do you see how thin that is? Just a little thin piece of metal. And I have bought some of the, the expensive ones, like the Burgions or whatever. And I've broken those too. And I said, you know what? Don't like that. So I'm going to do a kind of a two-party here. I'm going to flip this the right way. Here's what's going on. This has the they call it the gooseneck or whatever. Got all this extra stuff, right? We got this circle here. I should be able to put this in the center and have it hold. All right. Maybe I need to tighten that down. Trying to figure this out here on the fly. Looks like one hole's lined up. Anyway, we're going to try this, and if this all fails, then I'll just put it together and then do the reverse capillary action stuff. That didn't hold at all. We gave it a shot, gave it a try. Of course, all this oil, since it's just hit the mat, all the oil fell off, so we gotta clean it up. Do it again. I just looked right at the camera, at the microscope, and I saw that was out of focus for you guys, and I did not change it. Yeah, so let's... Maybe there's something here with this. Come on, I just need that hole to line up. Could I take... Nope. All right, let's try it again. I think I'm on to something here. I'm on to something and I want to try it. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can't make this work this time. Oh my gosh, it was right over the screw holes too for a second. I don't know if that got picked up on the camera there, the microscope. So I'm going to install one screw here. To anchor it. Right? This checks out. This is math, right? This is mathing out. The screw can fall right out. That works too. Let me try this screwdriver. Maybe I just had the wrong screwdriver there. Okay, screwdriver, or the screw did connect. This is clearly not the way you're meant to be doing all this. But we're this far, and don't give up on your dreams. There we go. I've done it. I've installed it. Hooray! Subscribe. You won't see thrilling watch action like this anywhere else. That maybe isn't true. I don't know what people do on here anymore. Did I ever know what people did on here? Maybe I should stage one of those. Look how dirty and destroyed this watch is, but really I just tossed some loose mud on it. You guys seen those videos? I'll have friends send me one of those every now and then I have to explain to them what they're watching and what's happening. Like, whoa, is this what you do? Is this how you do your work? And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't have magic rust reverser that turns rust into perfectly polished steel. Okay. Trying to line this up. I might have to do this from the side, personally. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Running into a few issues here. The stud. There we go. It's right underneath the arm of the balance wheel. Oh, the phone. Yep, that just got bent. That just got... Oh, I think I know what just happened. I just completely goofed this up. This is fixable. So I get to do a hack job at this here real quick. I don't have... Thought I had some tweezers. I've got some tweezers that are bent 90 degrees, or the end is 90 degrees. To do this work. Yeah, didn't think I'd have to do this, but one of my policies, or one of the things that I try to strive for here with this channel, with my work, is I'm not hiding stuff. So what happened is I just bent this hairspring. Right here. And now I have to try to unbend it. Without goofing up everything else. I genuinely don't know what happened here. even if you don't know how hairsprings fully work, here, I'll get you guys a real good close-up here. I'm honestly probably just going to have to get this replaced because I don't know the exact bend of this. So as you can see, there is, right here, this is the stud that I was trying to get into that hole. And then by me simply moving the balance wheel over just a bit so I could see the stud to actually push it down into the hole that was fully open. It's not, I guess it must be a tight fit or something. Just moving that hairspring or the balance wheel over just that little bit was enough to shape this as such. Now, is it... I might try to install it again here just to be sure, because this does not look normal. I would expect this out here maybe, and this curve seems way too much, but I expect this to be here-ish. Yeah, hairsprings are a tricky thing. One, you look at them wrong and they bend. Opening that up doesn't bring this down. But then other times, I mean, I could pull this over here and it goes right back to shape. So maybe let me just try this again here. And again, this is a real situation. I'm not trying to. This isn't scripted. Obviously, you guys have been watching me for the last hour and 7 minutes, trying to get this together. So if you look here, there's nothing in the hole that's blocking it. It only fits in there a certain way. All right? It is over here. Oh my gosh, I might have been just goofing. Maybe something was stuck. I'll have to watch this back. But we're going to get this installed. Maybe this was just an overreaction, which better safe than sorry, I guess. This hairspring is sitting perfect. Maybe it was caught on one of the arms, one of the regulator arms right under here. You see these two little brass pins right under here? Yes, no, right here at the bottom of the screen? Maybe something was stuck on that. It still doesn't look fully right, but this balance is sitting, or this hairspring is sitting exactly where it's supposed to be. Alright, I think I lucked out. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to scare everybody. I was saying, hairsprings are fragile, but they're also very resilient. Like it's a spring. See what it's lining up in the center now, whereas before, while this was all sitting here, the spring was shifted way over here. So I don't know, something must have been touching that I just didn't notice. Yeah, false alarm. Now I have to get a screwdriver in here. Okay, just a little bit. Whoops. Just enough so I can flip this over. Okay, yeah, I see what happened. I see what happened. Do you see how it looks all oblong and it's not sitting properly? Concentric circles? Let me hold this with my finger again. Yeah, the hairspring was sitting on top of the brass pin. Also, there's some gunk on here from that steel block. Okay. If you watch this whole thing, I applaud you. Thanks for hanging out and watching this. Okay, that was a dicey maneuver there, but we got it. Okay. Before I get too far, what I want to do is tighten this up just a bit more. Okay. Now I can grab this from here. And we should have some very obvious signs of life here when this gets seated. When this gets seated. It works! Again, that false alarm, I apologize. Like I said, this isn't the most expensive watch in the world, but it's not the cheapest. And parts, when you get into some watches like this, one part can cost, it gets to be a bit much. Let's put it that way. I'd rather not spend more on a part than I did on the watch. More on parts. There's my little presser down thing. Now I know the watch stopped. What I'm doing is I'm pushing down on near the cap jewel. But if this shifts, this stays in place where it's supposed to. Now don't you fear. Case, front and back. All I'm going to do here is I just wanted to wind so you can see all the everything is working there. And this being a pocket watch, this thing has a pretty lengthy mainspring. Gonna be here for a bit. It's also the most awkward position to wind a pocket watch in. Y'all counted how many rotations around that went? Hey, there we go. That's about full there. That thing's flying. As it should. Also, another reason why I don't like gold-plated stuff is there's brass underneath or whatever. And every time, and this happens on modern stuff too. Yeah, I guess my finger does that thing where it changes colors. Obviously, it's red from the pressure, but that little strip of black there, I don't know what that is. Have you guys ever heard of that? Where like if you take a gold ring and like rub it on your skin changes colors or something. Isn't that weird? Aren't bodies weird? Aren't humans weird? There we go. This is up and running again. I have to laugh. I thought like I said, I thought I messed up the hairspring, and who knows if I can get one that's in perfect shape. Without having to spend a ton of money. Yeah. I'm just gonna have a good laugh about it now. But obviously that is very clearly running. As you can see, the balance wheel itself, the spring moving exactly how it should. Balance wheel looks good. Adjusted for temperature. That's why it's got the two different colors on it. Is this one temperature adjusted? Yeah, adjusted temperature and position, 6 positions. I'm pretty sure. I know they in other watches, the balance wheel will have 2 different metals and splits on the end, and that is for temperature. Don't ask me how or why that all works, but it does. Obviously, different metals have different heating points, expanding, contracting, so on and so forth. Yeah, wow. It works. Next step for me is going to be get this on the time machine, the timing machine. I'll just do right now. Let's give it a test. If you've been here before, you know that my time grapher is kind of integrated into my desk over there. I can't really move it in front of the camera, and the camera is all, you know. I'll get that running here and I'll give you some numbers. Unadjusted. Let's see here. First note, there's some beat error. Big surprise there. Not really. But the lines are straight. They're not jumping. So when you read your time graph, you want a line like this. You don't want line, dot here, dot down there. It is 2 lines. 3.7 beat error, plus 47 seconds a day, dial down. Amplitude is saying 203. That's a little low. So either that mainspring is old. I just installed it. Or something is catching. It could also be giving me a low amplitude because the beat error, it just climbed up to 4 now. It could be because the beat error is 4 that it's not giving me the right amplitude. Usually you want to dial this in. I should be able to get that beat error down below 1. And then I can, from there, adjust the rate. And then we can check the amplitude again. But we'll get to that when we get to that. When I do get around to that, I'll just probably make a short or something. Show you the time grapher so you can actually see the numbers. Show you the movement that I worked on. And yeah, you can follow up and check on that. But for right now, this watch is done. I have spent way too long in here. Unedited hour, 20-minute video. But there you have it. Hamilton 99 2B up and running. Like I said, I want to make some adjustments. Lubrication of the gear train should be just fine. I will I'll have to go through and check. And again, like I said, maybe that mainspring, it was reading 200 for an amplitude. It should be pushing 260, 270, 280, 290 on a full line too. So I'm going to check that. Also just make sure that the barrel arbor is free in there. I did put some oil on it. That's what I usually do. I oil the barrel arbor pivots. That usually helps quite a bit. But for now, I'm just going to let it run, and I'm going to go about the rest of my day. It's been far too long in here, but I did want to get this done today and just kind of show you all. Yeah. Fun false alarm. I get to look back on this and have a good laugh about it. Hopefully, it was entertaining to see. Let me know how I handled it. Let me know what you want to see next. And if you have a watch that you need fixed, or if you want to buy a new one, want to get one customized, let me know. I can help you out with that. Thanks for watching. Lavelle Time Works. Again, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Give the video a like. Check out some of the other videos. Some more watch work. And that's all I've got. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time.